Tired of jumping through hoops to buy Bitcoin? Frustrated with endless paperwork and invasive identity checks? Introducing Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club's loan program. No KYC required. Say goodbye to the hassle and hello to freedom. Borrow up to $250,000 at as little as 7% interest. Join our community and take control of your financial future. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where privacy meets opportunity. Connect with like-minded individuals and grow together. Visit us today and unlock your $250,000 Bitcoin loan. Your journey to financial freedom starts here.
And we are live. Good morning, everybody. It's your favorite truck driver, ex-truck driver in the whole wide world, Bitcoin Ben, for the weekly roundup and report on what in the hell isn't actually going on right now. It's basically everything. Everything right now is literally going crazy. We have a whole list of, oh, hang on a second. I gotta pause this. Let me do this. There we go. All right, let me see if this updated. There we go. Sweet. All right, we are back. So this week we've had so much information roll out with Epstein, with AI. I mean, I was just watching an episode of an AI report. We have some of the most incredible news that's good, and we have some of the worst news that's bad, Epstein. And with AI rolling out useful tools, remember, Coinbase just launched an AI wallet. A crypto wallet for AIs. This is moving so quickly, and everything is going absolutely insane on tech, on culture, on regulations. We just had the Trump administration eliminate like 80,000 regulations. This means higher water pressure. But what this really means is this. When I was younger, when you ran an organization or you ran an actual business, you didn't look at regulations and say, okay, what can I do? What you did was you invented, you created, and you didn't worry about federal regulations because they didn't apply to you. We have this new, well, I say new, but it's been around since about the 1970s, regulatory idea here in America. I have had conversations with lawyers explaining our organization. And they're like, so did you file with blah, blah, blah? And I'm like, no. They're like, well, technically you don't have to, but you probably should. And I'm like, why would I file with them? And they're like, well, just to kind of cover your ass. From who? From the government. And I'm like, fuck the government. It's It's this idea that we need permission, that you have to go through the government or you're not legitimate. Like, and let's let that sink in. You have to get approval from a corrupt organization like the federal government in order to be legitimate. Wait, so I have to ask a bunch of criminals for permission? This is this new mindset here in America and across the world, really, is we have this idea that the government sets the rules. And then we all kind of play along. And every year you got to get the latest update on the taxes. You have to get the latest update on the regulations. You have to get the... Who the fuck gave them fucking any authority over us? Sure enough, fuck wasn't me. And no one watching this. We're seeing the government is corrupt. They have no legitimacy. They have no authority. I go by the Constitution. The Constitution tells the federal government to fuck the fuck off. I don't give a fuck what legislators or senators or agencies and fuck off. We have, for some reason, and I don't know where this came from, my grandfather, completely different mindset. He didn't give a fuck what the government said. Couldn't have given two fucks or one. And yet our mindset nowadays is, if I open a business, I got to have this license. I got to get this approval. You got to jump through all these hoops just to swing a hammer. You got to jump through all these hoops just to drive a fucking car. You got to jump through all these government regulations that are absolutely fucking illegal. Illegal, and really, that goes in my fuck off file. And the problem is we don't have enough fucking people who have a fuck off file. And what's even worse is the regulations have created industries that rely on the regulations in order to exist. There's a lot of companies that have a fucking compliance department. Wait, so I got to hire somebody that knows how to jump through the hoops of the government? That right there shows you the issue with the government. You know how many laws and regulations there are? Millions. Millions. How the fuck are you to exist if you have millions of laws and regulations against you that you don't even know? And no matter what, think how fucked up this is. If the government goes after you, they don't have a budget. They have a bunch of lawyers who just keep fucking coming after you. You have a budget. You're like, I can only afford this much in lawyer fees. Yeah, the government has unlimited lawyers because the lawyers are the system. The lawyers are the agents of the courts. They work for the system. They get their license from the system. That's the whole issue with America now and the world. We have so many regulations, so much legislation, so many laws, so many this, so many that. You have to consult with your lawyer before you even walk outside. You're like, hey, I'm going out front. Should I go out front? I don't know, man. It's a little risky. And lawyers are programmed to say no. If I do X, will I get in trouble? I don't know. You probably shouldn't do X. Wait, so you can't tell me if I actually do anything that I won't fucking be attacked? Nope. So what can I do that will guarantee me that I won't fucking get attacked? Then do nothing. All right? Wait, what? We are psychologically frozen. We live in this world now, and we're choosing this, guys. We're choosing to give these motherfuckers the authority over us. Here's a great example. I'm on my way to Texas to look at land for our mining facility. I had to sign an NDA. So I took the NDA, I put it in AI, and I asked it, hey, could you break this down? Could you use this and analyze it against other NDAs in a situation like this, and give me an overall view? So I put it in AI. I read what it wrote. It looks good. It's pretty basic, not a whole lot of like complicated shit. But this and AI, very useful for that. It really gave me a good breakdown. Very good job on it. But yet, and I have no problem with an NDA. No problem. I use them all the time. No problem at all. It's an agreement amongst two parties. There you go. But then let's say I sneeze and I say the wrong thing or something. Then we go to court. Well, then we have lawyers arguing over shit. And what I understand the structure of it. I understand why we need courts. But that legal system has now actually been pointed against us. Yet, you know, the federal government, they didn't have any authority over individuals until after the Civil War. They had zero authority because the federal government has no legal authority over individual sovereign people. That's what's in the Constitution. I've had a ton, well, I can't say a ton, maybe 6 people who are like, wow, Ben, you're you're really like changing the system with your clubs and your mining and your credit union and your resort and everything that you are actually building. And I'm like, yeah, because the old system, now mind you, with the credit union, that is a whole different beast. That's a lot of regulations. And that's why we launched it in El Salvador. Because in El Salvador, there's a lot less regulatory hurdles and shit. You know, very common sense shit in El Salvador. I got no issue with that. We're dealing with people's money. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. But we now live in a world where the governments, the elected officials, the bureaucracies, especially the bureaucracies, because regulation is just bureaucratic law. That's what regulation is. Well, so you have a regulation. What happens if I say fuck you and don't do it? Well, then we prosecute you. So it's a law. Well, it's not a law. Yeah, because it did not go through the legislators. See, this is all a bureaucracy, organization, legal system that is not actually called a legal system. It's called a regulatory system. And this is what happens to every country. Because the moment that you create a government, you're fucked. That's why Benjamin Franklin, they said, "Sir, Mr. Franklin, what did you give us?" And he said, "A republic, if you can keep it." Because he understood, all of the founding fathers understood, government is naturally fucking corrosive to freedom. And we're reaching a point where government in itself is becoming unneeded. We have bureaucracies in healthcare, education. We have 498 bureaucracies in the federal government. Let that sink in. Can you think of 490 something sectors of anything? Think of the American economy. Hell, think of the globe. I dare you to come up with 490 something individual areas that needs the federal government's attention. And the problem is we've put up with it. And you know what we did wrong? We elected representatives, or they like to call themselves lawmakers. If you're a lawmaker, the fuck's your job? Oh, I make laws. Well, what if there aren't any laws needed? Oh, well, there's always laws needed. I mean, you got to have lawmakers because you got to make up a bunch of laws. Well, that accumulates into a bureaucracy, a regulatory bureaucracy, a legal bureaucracy. They can basically arrest you for anything anything they want. We know of government officials and regulatory things that have said, well, we don't know what he has done. Show me the person and I'll show you where they broke the law. Because law is just the words that you and how you interpret them. This is how they get us. And it's legalese. Legalese is there's no such thing as an ironclad case or an ironclad. It's all left up to interpretation of the judge. And the judge instructs the jury on what they can and cannot interpret. You can't use common English in a lawsuit. You have to use English from the Black Law Dictionary. If you ever want to freak yourself out, get a copy or search, they have it online, the Black Law Dictionary. Look up the definition of a person. A corporation is legally a person. A dog is a person. A house is a person. A ship is a person. Because of how they loosely define a person. What is a sovereign? Oh, that's pretty defined. These are all words that the legalese and the legal system has defined in a certain way. So when they bring you into court, we had a great example in the 90s when the lawyer, President Clinton, said, well, that always actually depends on what your definition of is. What he was saying is, what is the definition of is? And who sets that actual definition? And are there different interpretations of the definition of is? It's all legalese bullshit. And really, none of this is legal. The federal government, no one has authority over you. They have created a legal structure that we call citizenship that they say applies to us. You're a citizen of America. Well, what does that mean? It means the government, and this is not a fucking joke, they lease you. They lease you a franchise identity. Let me say that again. They lease you a franchise identity with your birth certificate. That's your ownership title. And your mom and your dad sign over the birth certificate to the government. Guess who owns that kid now? Legally. The government. That's how they can then take the birth certificate and roll it into a treasury bond as an asset. You are the asset that is actually backing up the treasury bond of America. They have raised us in a system where we are franchisees of a leased identity in a corporation that we call the United States of America. It used to be these United States of America. Because these meant decentralized. The United States of America is a corporation that is headquartered in Washington, D.C. They have lied to us with paperwork. They have created we wonder why all of the elites are the elites, because they have went through the system. They agree with the system. It's why Republicans and fucking Democrats are all like, well, we like this system. Yeah, because they're the ones they are the system. They create the system instead of the American people creating the system. This is all just an illusion. It's a legal illusion. And yet we have been raised and trained through going to school and the structure, the organization. Here's your grades. Here's your certificate of accomplish. Here's your diploma. I know a lot of friends of mine who have a high school diploma that can't fucking read. I know one guy, he has 4 masters and I think 1 PhD. This guy is dumb as fucking bricks. But you know what he has? A damn good memory. That's it. A damn good memory. He can remember what he reads or learns. But in real life, absolute dipshit. This guy couldn't problem solve himself out of a fucking bathroom. But he's got a master's. He's got 4 of them. He's smart on paper. Is it? This is a system that is reliant on some certification from some entity that for some reason has credibility to certify. Just like a driver's license. Just because you have a driver's license doesn't mean you're a good driver. This whole system, it has to come down, because we don't even have to bring it down, guys. It naturally brings itself fucking down. It eats itself. Government is the snake that eats its own tail, because the government, once Once it regulates the economy, then it eats the economy with regulation. And then the economy goes to shit, where you eventually have to financialize your economy, because financialization is based on value, and value is manipulatable. Value, it isn't one number. It isn't mathematics. Value is perception. And if you perceive something, someone else could perceive it differently. So that's why the economy goes to fuck. Because the government governs the production and labor. That's why we have minimum wage requirements. Well, the reason we have minimum wage requirements is because of inflation. That's it. That's it. Has nothing to do with the living wage, because if we didn't have inflation, guess what? Living wage would be right here. We don't live in a real economy. We live in a created economy. Wall Street, there's no way Wall Street would be as rich and as wealthy as they are without regulation, without government regulating. And they shape it like they're trying to help us. Hang on one second. Word from the sponsor.
In the world of technology, where data security...
Ever wondered how safe your online activities really are? How secure is your digital footprint? In the vast realm of the internet, privacy and security are paramount. Without adequate protection, your personal data might be at risk. There are solutions to these issues, and today we're going to talk about two of them. Introducing Liberty laptops from Calyx Solutions. These cutting-edge devices are meticulously designed to bolster online privacy, providing you the liberty to surf the internet incognito. The World Wide Web can be a wild frontier, but with Liberty laptops, your online privacy is always protected. We also present you crypto laptops, designed with cryptocurrency users in mind. Equipped to support a myriad of wallets and exchanges, these laptops are tailored for seamless cryptocurrency transactions. They offer enhanced security protocols to keep your digital assets safe. Crypto laptops ensures a secure and smooth cryptocurrency experience. It's time to take control of your online privacy and security. Venture over to Calyx Solutions and explore our Liberty laptops and crypto laptops. Don't forget, our affiliate program lets you earn $50 per sale. Visit calyxsolutions.io now or call 7028458276 for more information, because your online safety is our priority.
Welcome back, guys. Yeah, I'm not saying college is bad or anything like that. What I'm saying is regulatory is bad. When you have regulations, because remember, this is all to protect us. When you have a bureaucracy that switches into safety mode, then it's all fucking opinion. Law itself is just an opinion. That's why a judge gives an opinion. And that's why lawyers practice law. They don't execute law. They don't. They practice law. That's like a doctor practices medicine. It's all just practice. And they use the word practice because of legalese. Because if you are practicing law, then you can get around liability law if you're practicing law. We live in a legalese world, and we're all applying this shit to ourselves. How many people watching right now, have you ever thought about like doing something or launching a business, and next thing you know, you're like, okay, fuck it. I got to go out and I got to get this license. I got to create an LLC. I got to fucking do this. I got to do this. Instead of walking over to your neighbor's house and say, hey, I'm cleaning pools now. There you go. No, I'd like my pool cleaned. Okay. Well, you have to get a fuck ton of fucking paperwork before you can provide a service. That's not how humans work. That's not how humans should work. The government, because back in the 1770s and 1780s and 1790s, there was still a quote unquote need for government. Because really all they were was a ledger of ownership. That's it. Private property. Who owned what? That's it. Well, the government was created and evolved, and especially the federal government. The federal government evolved into where they can prosecute individuals. Well, that gives the federal government the ability to basically bring violence on people in the country. We have the FBI, the CIA, the DOJ, and we see that the FBI, the CIA, the DOJ, they all protect the system. What did Pam Bondi say? What has several politicians said? Well, if this ever gets out, it'll bring down the system. What does that fucking tell you about the system? If showing corruption and rape and murder brings the system down, doesn't that kind of tell you that that's what's holding it up? Think about that. If we arrest a bunch of pedophiles and we arrest a bunch of criminals who have been stealing our taxpayer money, it will bring the system down. All right? If the roof blows off your house, it's not going to bring your house down. If the foundation breaks, it'll bring your house down. So what's the system actually fucking built on? It is built on corrupt relationship with corrupt people and entities. I completely agree. The system needs to be brought down. But we hear, if this is all released and this is all really comes out, the market's going to crash. Okay, then what the fuck is the market built on? Corruption. Corruption. But wait, we have all these regulations. We got a ton of regulations. Because with regulations, you have regulators. And regulators are corrupt. They're fucking human. That's why we have government and large corporations. If you work for the government, you aren't working there because you love to provide a service to the American people. If you work for the government and you lie your way up to a very influential position, then you have a value to the corporations because you're the regulators. You're the legislators. Well, the corporations, they swoop in and go, hey, here's some regulations we think you should pass. Here's some legislation we think you should pass. Look at Obamacare. The legislators didn't write that shit. The healthcare system wrote that shit. And they're like, universal basic, or universal health care. Okay. How's your fucking health care now? How's your health care premiums? How's your prices? They going down? No, because as soon as you legislate, prices go up. In most of America, you legally have to have insurance for you to drive a car. Okay. Has insurance prices gone up? Yeah. If you're forced to purchase a service or a product, do you think that product's price is going to go down? If every time I walk into Walmart, I have to buy an apple, do you think the prices of apples are going to go down? No, because then it is a legislative product. So you have to do it. According to the law says you got to have health insurance. You got to have health insurance. But what if I don't want health insurance? Fuck you. You hate old people who probably going to die. Okay. How the hell is my health care? Because it's a system. You can't let people escape the system. Look at healthcare. Look at insurance. Look at everything legislated as East Germany, West Germany. The wall was to keep people in. I think it was East Germany. Wait a second, what? Yeah, there was no one trying to get into East Germany. Man, I can't wait to get me some fucking communism. Give me a big old helping of communism and bread lines. I'll take 2. Oh, wait, I can't have 2 because of rations? Super, I'll take 1. That's what health care is. They can't let you outside of the East German healthcare system of America. Everyone has to participate so everyone gets fucked equally. We can't have some people not get fucked. We got to fuck everybody. Equality. And this is the system we're living in. And this is what us, that's what we are saying, fuck you. And fuck you and the communist fucking horse you rode in on, you cocksucking motherfuckers. Because do you honestly believe that legislators are going to roll back legislation? No. That's like asking a chef who makes really good bread and sells a ton of bread, hey, can you make less bread? No, I'm going to make more. I'm going to make more bread because I get rewarded for making bread. Oh, okay. Well, your bread is kind of hurting people, but the people still want to buy it because they're dipshits, and you're the only bread maker. This is the system we live in, but it's a system we choose to fucking go along with. Because if you don't play along with the system gonna get you. He gonna get you. He gonna get you for getting outside the wall. Uh-oh, we got someone escaping into West Berlin. We got to go get him, bring him back to the plantation. He done runned away. And if he don't like it, chop off one of his feet. We are going to Kunta Kinte this motherfucker. Make sure he can't go anywhere. Well, I don't know about you guys, but that doesn't feel like freedom. That doesn't feel like liberty. Because remember, freedom and liberty are two completely different things. Freedom is your individual freedom, your freedom of choice, your free will. Liberty is the environment in which you live in. Look at it this way. If you have a goldfish and it's in a bowl, where the goldfish swims in the bowl is its freedom. Liberty is the bowl. If you live in a little bitty bowl, you're free to move around the bowl, but you can't get out of the bowl. And this is where we're at now. And everyone's looking to Washington, D.C. Boy, we got to, come on, Trump, cut those regulations, which I completely agree with. I completely, throw them motherfuckers away. In fact, we need, I would love to see this happen. We need laws against legislators. We have it. We have those laws against legislators. It's just no one ever prosecutes the fucking prosecutors. Isn't it odd? When was the last time we had an elected official arrested for infringing on individuals' rights? No. What we need to do is realize math. There's a fuck ton more of us than there are of them. Now, mind you, here in America, There's a lot of people who live off the system. The federal government has 2 million employees and contractors. And that's a low number. There's more than that. Let's put it this way. Our GDP, 20% of it is government. Let that sink in. 20% of our economy is government, direct money from the government. Another, what was it? Another 16% of our GDP is regulatory compliance. So that means 36% of American production is influenced and created by the federal government. That's why when you hear the government officials, our administration, we created 1 million jobs. Because they regulate shit. And therefore, whatever sector that is, they have to hire somebody to do the regulation. The perfect example is catalytic converters in automobiles. These are the biggest waste of fucking everything. Your car doesn't need a catalytic converter. It's on your exhaust. It's to fight global warming. You know how expensive catalytic converters are, especially for an RV or an automobile. So that regulation, that required a whole industry that produces catalytic converters. So now, somewhere, there's a company or several probably that make catalytic converters. They produce something that is fucking unneeded. Right? Yeah. Right here. Mine got clogged on my car and was $1,600 to replace. Yeah, they are manufactured to clog. That's what they do. They clog. They accumulate bullshit that they're like, oh, we can't have that out in the public. We can't have that. No, we can't have that leave the tailpipe. That's yeah, I guarantee the next catalytic converter that goes out on me, fuck you, I'm putting a straight pipe. Fuck your catalytic converter. It can kiss my lily white ass. Because I'm done with this bullshit. And so should you. Look at what's going on in Washington, D.C. Look at what's going on in Minnesota. Look at what's going on all over the fucking country and the world. The problem ain't us, folks. It's the fucking government. We don't go to war. Governments go to war. And they send us to go, we got to go fight the war. And then the elected officials and the representatives of the government, once one of the governments loses to or reaches or sues for peace, that's always a fucking stupid term. sue for peace. Then they sit down at a table and they sign documents. While we, the average Joes and Janes, while we're on the battlefield, we go out and we sacrifice our lives and our children and our money, and until it reaches a point where the leaders can sit down at a table, sign a document. But we had to kill all these people so we could reach a point where two motherfuckers could sit in front of each other and sign a piece of paper. That's why they don't give a fuck about war. They'll gladly go to war. Fuck yeah, let's go kill some motherfuckers. We're going to kill more of your motherfuckers than you're going to kill of our motherfuckers. We got lots of motherfuckers. This is a system that was created on the backs of the fucking average people. The elites don't go to war. You don't see the president, all right, lock and load, boys, we're going to war. Out on, at least George Washington was on the front fucking lines, fucking getting shot at. We don't have that anymore. We have the Pentagon. The Pentagon, where they calculate and formulate and order pizza and do all this other bullshit to figure out, how many of our people should we put over there so they can get their asses blown off? Well, General, I say we send in about 5,000 people. We'll probably lose about a third of those people. But this offensive is worth the loss. Ask those motherfuckers' mother or their father or their sister or brother. And we haven't had a clear fucking definition of war, of like what's our agenda. Look at Iraq. Look at Afghanistan. What the fuck are we doing over there? We're doing some shit. We're looking for a guy in a fucking cave. Huh? We're taking out the terrorist. Huh? And there's a whole industry that has to go to war. You ever wonder why there's always wars everywhere across the world? We're always at war with something. Because we got factories that need to run. We have war factories that need to continue to produce. If we ain't blowing up our bombs, we got a bunch of bombs. We need to produce more bombs. We need to upgrade our bombs so we can blow motherfuckers up more efficiently. We are the pawns in the elite's fucking game. And we have global elites, we have governmental elites, we have corporation elites. Why? Because they have told us that we have to be organized. We have to be managed. We need to be governed. Man, if we aren't governed, think of all the shit that would happen. I can't think of one fucking thing that if the federal government went away would be a bad thing. Well, we got to have the IRS. How the hell are we going to get your money? We got to have regulation. Who's going to tell you what you can and can't do? Somebody's got to tell you what you can and can't do. I mean, you can't make your own choices. And this is all wrapped up in that fucking illusion of security. They preach safety, security. We need safety and security. Well, the only way you get safe and secure is if you can't move. This is absolutely insane. And I refuse. I fucking refuse. Especially now with Epstein. And you guys know I'm a Trump supporter. But you better start getting some motherfuckers. Because if you don't, fuck all this. Fuck all this. If we're going to allow motherfuckers to rape and kill children and go, yeah, you know what? It's just, man, it's really going to cause some trouble. Yeah, it needs to cause some fucking trouble. If Trump and the Trump administration, if they don't bring this whole system down of the pedophiles, the murders, the suicides, then what the fuck's the point? What's the fucking point of a DOJ that doesn't J? We are the Department of Justice. Oh, can we get some justice on this? No. On that topic, we're all out of justice. Sorry. Then fuck you and fuck your fucking system. Fuck Washington, D.C., and I'll say it. Fuck Trump. If you don't fucking do this, I'm done. I'm done with the whole fucking system, and we need a revolution. And I mean some George Washington type of revolution. Not this, I'm going to go out in the fucking road and hold a goddamn sign in one hand and my phone in the other. If we can't get justice on motherfuckers raping and killing kids, then there's no fucking point for any of it. Any of it. Because if you'll bring me justice, if I don't have a license plate on my fucking car, but when an elite goes out and rapes and murders children, that motherfucker gets a pass. Fuck you and fuck your fucking system. At what point? And I don't think they got much fucking time left. Because there's a lot of motherfuckers who are watching what's going on. And if this isn't addressed, it will be addressed. It will be addressed, motherfuckers. Because it has to be addressed. So, let's see how this goes. All right, everyone, have a great Friday. Now that I've cheered you up. Everything's going to actually be okay. Right now, no. But it will be okay in the future. We just got to go through some bad shit to get to okay. And remember, okay isn't perfect, but it ain't this. All right, everyone, have a great day. I love you guys, and I will see you guys on Monday. Bye-bye.
Tired of jumping through hoops to buy Bitcoin? Frustrated with endless paperwork and invasive identity checks? Introducing Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club's loan program. No KYC required. Say goodbye to the hassle and hello to freedom. Borrow up to $250,000 at as little as 7% interest. Join our community and take control of your financial future. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where privacy meets opportunity. Connect with like-minded individuals and grow together. Visit us today and unlock your $250,000 Bitcoin loan. Your journey to financial freedom starts here.